Good morning, travelers. Tara here, Hidden Lotus Tarot, and today is what, the 20th? Yeah, of December. God, I can't believe it. The 20th of December. Um, we are in our first full day. Well, actually, yesterday was our first full day of Mercury in retrograde. Um, that kind of affects me in a weird way. I kind of go silent, so that's why you guys haven't heard a lot from me. I'm also working a lot behind the scenes. I had mentioned that I wasn't sure if I was going to be doing monthlies anymore. I still have not made that determination. Um, we shall see. I want to kind of get another Akashic Records reading done and under my belt, and then I can kind of look at my time there. For those of you who I am working my way through the Akashic Records, so you'll be hearing from me very, very soon. We can set up, and even if during the holidays this is going to be falling, we can wait until after to do the presentation, so that's no big deal. I had 3 people contact me about some tarot card readings that I had done for them some time ago, and they're just now coming back on, oh my god, everything you said was true. So that's why I tell people that there is no timing in the tarot. Lots of people want to know when they come and get readings, they want to know the timing on that. If I could get that shit down to a science, I could make a mint. But um basically it all boils down to divine timing. Everything happens when it's supposed to. Our challenge is to try to figure out what we're doing while we're waiting for situations to clarify themselves or resolve themselves. This is the difficult part. But anyway, I'm going to come to you today with, oh, Uranus is waking up. I turned the TV on this morning. It's like 4 or 5 terror attacks. Uranus is waking up, people. This will this will kind of continue on. And Uranus is about liberation and freedom, unexpected events, a change, a complete revolution, a complete change in certain circumstances. So I was like, wow. So anyway, I have the Rider Waite deck here with me. Um, I've been doing a lot of astrology work as well, checking out some things there, learning and immersing myself in that. So we're going to take a look. We're going to do 9 cards. I have the angel answer cards. For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. To my diehard subscribers, thank you so much for sticking around. Do know that you can come over to the website and leave a comment under the YouTube video comments tab about anything that you have seen or heard in any of the readings. Many of you have expressed to me how much you like the open readings. So that's why I'm kind of on the fence about whether or not I should do monthlies for January. I know a lot of you prefer those as well. We'll just see how that goes. I'm supposed to be knitting some hats for some people. I do have the the Indo-Venus and the Sibilis here. I'm not sure which one of these I'm going to be using. So this is a general reading. It is not for any specific zodiac sign, nor is it for any specific time frame. We're just going to open the cards and see what comes up. Pardon me. Let me grab some water. I've got my heat on now. It was like, I got up the other morning. I don't sleep with my heat on. Why? Because, well, I got blankets. I woke up yesterday morning. It was 49 in my apartment. I'm like, what? So I had the heat on and it's drying my throat out. Luckily, our drinking water is back to normal, but as you can see, I hate these bottled waters. Why? You get fresh, clean water, yes, but then you got this stupid bottle left over. What are you going to do with it? They don't break down. So the landfill is full of these things. And so what I try to do is I keep a cup with me at all time, one of those metal insulated cups, so I can get water at any time. I just, take it with me everywhere that I go. Because you can always walk into a convenience store with your own cup and get yourself some, some water and some ice. They don't charge for that. Instead of spending a buck whatever for, and then you can't get rid of the byproduct. All right, here we go. 9 cards down. Little stinky dog. Okay. Page of Cups. 7 of Pentacles. The Strength card. King of Wands. The Hanged Man. 3 of Cups. Knight of Swords. Wow. 1, 2, 3 in a row. 3 court cards. 4 of Wands. Wow. And the 10 of Pentacles. Okay. Well, there's Uranus. There he is. He is definitely about to make his entrance. When I first started reading cards, the card that I hated the most in the tarot was the Hanged Man. Why? Because that just means you gotta wait. And I am a somewhat impatient person. And I can wait for some things, and then some things I want, But I have learned, because the Hangman has been hanging around me for quite a while now, and I have learned that he serves a wonderful purpose, even though we may not see it at the time. Anyway, the way that the cards are read are past, present, and future. Past, present, and future, and the interplay of the cards. Now, I have one major arcana card, and this is the Hangsman. And that major arcana cards are the first 22 cards in the tarot, and they deal with spiritual lessons or life lessons. Then we have our pip cards. These would be our court cards, like the page, the knights, the queens, the kings. And then we have the numbered cards. Now, I'm trying to see if I have any. I do not have any repeater numbers. So I have 1, 7, 1, 8, a 3, a 4, and a 10. The Hanged Man is number 12. He would break down to a 3. If we're going to look at the numerology of it. So in effect, I might have 2 3s here next to each other. Now, 2 3s can speak to, depending on how we're looking at it, if this is a relationship issue, could speak to 3 people in a situation, but it can also speak to protection. Okay. This would be a 7, the Tower card. And the 7 would also, this 7 would also correlate to the Chariot. Interestingly, because either you move, you try to move yourself through a situation, you try to figure out the best way to navigate, and if you can't do it, then the Tower comes in and does it for you. Okay. No, I'm sorry. I have 2 major arcanas. I have the Strength card here. And the Strength card is a number 8. Well, so here I have in the center the Hanged Man, and the Hanged Man represents the planet Neptune. And if I'm not mistaken, Neptune is the higher octave, or Uranus is the higher octave of Neptune, or Neptune is the higher octave of Uranus. I can't remember exactly, but they're related to each other. So here we have Uranus and Neptune have presented themselves around this reading. The Hanged Man is about the higher love, the spiritual aspect of love. It also rules the moon, It rules its natural house in the zodiac is the 12th house, which is the house of Pisces. So this could also be about sacrificing, self-sacrificing, martyrdom, um, dissolved boundaries, dissolving of the ego. Um, but he represents, if we're just going to look at how he presents himself here in the center of the spread, there's a lot of things going on at this time, but everything's on hold. Okay. The hangman represents a time of pause, a time of stillness, a time when you should be perhaps meditating, looking at certain situations in your life, trying to see them from different angles, different perspectives. This could simply be maybe you've had an argument with someone. I don't see that in the card here, but in the spread. But this is just an example. You could have had an argument with someone. Well, the hangman will show up to say, well, you know what? Um, maybe you're both right, but try to see what it's like from the other person's perspective. So it's all about having a different perspective on things. As you can see, he's hanging upside down. Know that the hangman has placed himself in that position. So this could also just be a time where you have decided to take a step back from some situations so that you can gain a bit more clarity. The thing about Neptune is, though, is that the harder you try to get to the truth of a situation, the more elusive truth becomes. So there could be a lot of deception. There could be a lot of illusions. There could be lies. This could be people doing those things to you or you doing those things to yourself. Because again, it is about the dissolving of the ego. So this is where he shows up. Now, across the top, I have for some of you that something new has come in. This is what the page represents. The page represents, it's not an ace. An ace would be, it's a new element. This to me is an offer that has come in. Now, most people say that this is an offer of love. Most people just read the cups as love. And in one respect, yeah, we could say that we do have the higher octave of love here in the center. But basically, to me, the cups just represent emotion. And whatever this offer is, it could be a job offer. Whatever this offer is that has come in, I think for some of you, it's been a surprise. Why? Because we have that fish popping out of the cup. But it is an offer or a message that has come through that emotionally you have some type of there's an emotional component to it. Okay. Now for some of you, since this is in the past, for some of you, this could be a King of Wands, a fire sign individual, a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries that you may be dealing with. If it is not that particular sun sign, then it is going to be someone who has the attributes of this King of Wands, either male or female. It could be either or, okay? Because the truth of the matter is we all have masculine and feminine energies. And at different points in times, we will display more masculine energies and or we will display more feminine energies. But definitely it's a fire sign individual. If not a fire sign individual, then it is the attributes of this king. And this is someone who more than likely is a business, is an entrepreneur. It is someone in a leadership position, someone who delegates tasks, but likes to maintain full control of the situation. Very fiery, very passionate, highly creative. Sometimes I see when he shows up with the King of Cups could be someone who is artistic in some way. This could be, you got news that this individual had to leave. Maybe this individual themselves had to leave. They left for quite suddenly out of the picture. You can see we have two cards of home here. And in a sense, it's like maybe the energy is kind of reading back this way. Remember I said this is going to be the future, but the energy looks as though the cards are actually reading this way. So it's like maybe someone had to leave home. Maybe they're leaving home because they received something, some kind of award or celebration. This is what this card is, but this is also the card of marriage, stability. This could be someone having to have moved. They have left this group of people. The Ten of Coins is about either a family situation or a group of people who have been together for a very, very long time. The Ten Pentacles indicate things that are built up, solid things that are built up. It also represents legacies, inheritances, trust. For some of you, you could be really getting news of an inheritance, of a legacy. These are things built up. And that is going to allow someone to make a move or to update or upgrade their existing home, maybe move to another home. But we can see that someone has left this particular situation. That is the way it's reading from the bottom. It's also reading this way. Whatever this news is, we see that here's the Seven of Pentacles, and this is Saturn and Taurus. Saturn can be about fear, but he can also be about, he rules time. So in other words, this is about taking time to weigh up. This is the card of patience, of editing, of feedback. This is about waiting for the harvest to come in. Well, you've already planted some seeds here, and they have taken off quite well. Well, here's that message, and here's that new thing. To me, this is representative kind of like of the ace. This is also like an ace. An Ace of Coins has come in. So again, for some of you, this could be a job offer. This could be a new individual perhaps wanting to come into your life, as we can see here. Maybe you're considering adding a new family member. This is known as the marriage card here as well. So some of you may be thinking about getting married or taking your relationship to the next level. Here we have the Strength card, and the Strength card comes out. We've got this offer. We're weighing it up. We're thinking about it. What are we going to do with it? And this is us, gathering our full resources, our strength, in order, I think, to really get a handle on what it is that we want or what it is that we fear. Okay. Neptune can cause some real fear because you're not exactly sure if what's happening around you is real or not. If you yourself were imagining things, or if the other person is deceiving you or tricking you in some way. Sometimes it could be a combination of both. But the Strength card says to face whatever those things are, and know that whatever the outcome may be, that it is all about the facing of the fear. You see, here's Saturn, the facing of the fear. And if you can move through this particular situation, it's going to put you in a stronger position. We see that this King of Wands individual, in a sense, has turned his back on something. He's faced towards the past. And again, with these cards, this is really, I think, somebody weighing up or trying to look at the value of whatever this Four of Wands is speaking about. This could indeed be someone wanting to take, if not a romantic relationship, it could simply be someone wanting to maybe expand their business or move their business. Maybe this is about someone moving for business. I do have these two pentacles here, and trying to weigh that up, because really what it's all about is some type of stability here. We're looking, and what does stability mean? We're weighing it up. This is the coins represent not only finances, but it is the physical world. It is food, drink, sex, houses, cars, property. We're looking at that, and the wands represent the ambition and the desire. It is the willpower to get these things done. Now, this represents Venus and Aries. This could be a lot of passion surrounding, and this could just be the birth of a new idea. something coming in. You got somebody said something to you. Maybe you didn't really think about it. It was kind of surprising what they said, but now you have an opportunity with the Hangman to kind of weigh that up and look at, you know, is there any value in it? We can see that after a time frame of pause, that something has indeed come through to celebrate. Okay, there it is. That's what the Three of Cups is all about. So this could be receiving a reward, recognition. It could be an award. It could be a graduation. It could be an engagement. It could be a baby shower. It could be any type of life event in which you're going to come together with other people and celebrate. Okay, it could even just simply be you coming together for the holidays. All right. This is indicative of finding some strength within group situations here, friends and family, and that being the strength that perhaps maybe you need in order to um, move forward with whatever this thing is. Now, just suddenly, I'm looking at this diagonal here, the strength card with the Hanged Man and the Knight of Swords. Now, I do feel that for some of you, you may have been holding on to a position um, quite strongly, but the Hanged Man comes in to say that there may be second thoughts here. Um, we're going to pull Sabila's on this, and the reason why I said it could be second, because we have this Knight of Swords rushing out of the picture. He's rushing back to the past. For some of you, this could be the return of someone from the past. We know that Mercury retrograde brings old lovers back and old situations back around. In which case, the Hangman is telling you to please don't be so hasty, to gather your strength, try to hold on to your emotions and your thoughts, get those things on the same page before rushing headlong. That's why the Hangman is here. The Hangman is giving you this opportunity to really think very, very deeply about the choices that will become, and something's going to change. It's right here. Okay. So even though the future of the spread here, the vertical column, looks like a real celebration, something, a milestone event, something that maybe has taken a long time and you've had to really just kind of buckle down and and you know, get your emotions and your thoughts on the same page. But this card is also known as taking a risk. So this could be about actually someone just deciding they're going to go for something. Okay. As you can see, she's prying open the mouth of that lion. But how has she done that? She's not forcing it. She's not threatening. She is simply standing in her own strength and is able to, in a sense, kind of wrestle this beast into submission. So this could also be about sometimes when I see the Hanged Man with the Three of Cups, this could be someone who might be dealing with addiction issues here, partying too much. It could be, you know, you got the hanging out with your friends. We do have the holidays coming up. This could also be an indication that perhaps we should try to get a handle on our appetites. You see, it's these three cards here. See, even here, there's a hold. There's a news that is coming. There's a hold. And again, maybe some of you might be getting news, or you're waiting on news, something that is going to bring a whole lot of abundance, perhaps to your family. In which case, indeed, you know, there is going to be something to celebrate. Maybe this is about holding out for something here. Somebody made you an offer, it wasn't good enough, you gave them a counter offer, you thought about it, well, I put in this much work, shit, you know, I deserve at least that. and holding out for that. This could also be in a sense, a break in the negotiations. As we can see here, we have the Page of Cups, the 3, and then this person, this knight, is flying out of the scene quite suddenly. That's the energy. This represents Gemini. Um, this is about news because it represents the 3rd house, which is the house of communications. Now, we do know that Mercury has gone into retrograde, so this could literally be somebody has just left the scene totally, completely, and you don't know what has happened to them. They have dropped off the face of the earth. It could be that. In which case, the Hangman comes in with the Strength card to say, slow your roll. Don't become too upset about it. Maybe the person had good reason to leave. You know, that may be so, but I think still, out of respect, if it's somebody that you've been dealing with, they could at least say something to you, right? Um, um, there's a real emotional quality to this. This is Mercury in Cancer, and this is the communication of emotions to people, how feelings. Oh, you make me feel so good. I feel so great when I'm around you, or I've never felt this way before, but then they take off. The twins, Gemini. It's Mercury retrograde. Here we have Mercury in Virgo. And this is really, in order for things to come like this is indicative of being cooperative with people, everybody being on the same page. And maybe this is the challenge of what this King of Wands is all about. He's been you see, that's Leo, and he can represent Leo. So this could literally be about someone who is having to maybe give up some things for himself in order to bring to bring more abundance or more whatever this thing is together for other people. Remember, I said he's a leader. But we see something coming up. So let's pull. I'm going to use the regular Sibilas. That way I can kind of keep up with you. You can keep up with me. Right down the center, we see that something is being weighed up here. This card, Neptune, the Hangman, can also be about forgiveness. First, though, forgiveness doesn't work for other people if you don't forgive yourself. But also, the Hangman, in its negative aspect, can be someone who feels that they are martyring themselves. This came up in the other spread the other day. I've done all of these things to get here, but there's obviously something else that has introduced itself, and I think it's a twofold component: money and emotions. This could be someone who has been keeping a tight rein on both their money and their emotions. Which, in one respect, is good for some things, and not good for others. And maybe that's why the Hangman has come up to say you need to find that balance there. She does have the Lamanescape over her head, the infinity symbol, and that is just speaking to the cycles. Things go up, they go down. It is a never-ending cycle. For some reason, I'm picking up that this has to do with North and South Node contacts. That's a loop in your astrology chart. So this could be, for some of you, hits to your North and your South Node. Neptune, we had the Virgo Pisces axis. The eclipses running along the Virgo Pisces axis. The first eclipse of 2017 is going to be running. It will hit for the first time the Leo Aquarius axis, but what will still be in play is Neptune, Virgo, because a first eclipse always of a year always relates to an eclipse of the previous year. So it will go from Virgo to Pisces to Leo to Aquarius, and then back to, it will touch on that point, go across the same point of the previous eclipse. So so there's still going to be some issues that you're dealing with from 2016 as you move into 2017. This Uranus transit, we have Uranus trining Saturn. I think Uranus trining Jupiter. It's going to be 2 or 3 very, very rare aspects right at the end of the year, 28th, 29th, the 30th through the 31st. And of course, Uranus is one of those big outer planets, so they're going to be contacts. I think we've been dealing with that. What was that one? Saturn and Pluto. We had one that we've been dealing with since like 2014. We have one more of those, I do believe. Fear of control, fear of loss of control. And again, if you haven't been moving in some areas of your life, then Uranus is here to come and say, well, look, since you can't seem to find the strength to do it your damn self, here, let me help you. So that can sometimes mean that things change in a way that you really don't like or you didn't expect, but trust that it is going to be for your higher good. You're going to have to stay light on your feet, climb down off of the wand, off of the stick here, and be light on your feet. Go in the direction of the storm here, because there is a clearing coming. This is your old foundations are going to be shaken up, in a sense, because they're no longer, those old foundations no longer serve you. So, and it may not be about your old foundations being completely torn down. It could just be that the landscape is going to alter a bit. Why? Because it's time, everybody has to check their foundations. That's like women, when we go buy new bras, that's a foundation. So we got to get new bras every once in a while. You own a home, you got to have your foundation inspected. The ground shifts underneath you. Cracks appear. So everybody has to stop and inspect their foundations in whatever area of life, your work life, your spiritual life, your emotional. You got to check your foundations, because things change. It's a never-ending cycle. So, God, I can remember those old girdles that my grandma and them used to wear. You got to have the right foundations, So, Jesus. So first, let's take a look at. I want to look at the Strength card. And this is really, to me, the most important card because of where it sits. It anchors the vertical column of the past, and it anchors the future row here. And we have this odd juxtaposition of someone standing in strength and then someone running away. And that's really, it's not more so of a message. It is, because it is the third house of communications, but yet, this could even be saying, in an odd way, the first eclipse coming up, Leo, Aquarius, because this is just an air sign. Even though it says Gemini, if we just want to look at the general tone, this is an air sign. Gemini is an air sign. Put that. I want to try to see if I can clarify this right quick. So a queen of pentacles. And again, if this is not an earth sign, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, then it is going to be someone with the attributes of this queen, someone who cares about ecology. They may like gardening, spending a lot of time in nature. They are rather well balanced. They are good with money and accounts. They can be in a position where they handle a lot of money and accounts. Typically, though, this is kind of like they do it for other people. Sometimes I see this as the housewife queen, and there's nothing wrong with being a housewife. But basically, if you think about the duties of a housewife, she has a lot of duties. She has to balance the budget. She has to plan meals. She has to do time management. She has to drive. She has to be a chef. She has to be a referee. She has to be a tutor. So this is basically someone who's rather multitasking and balanced in everything that they, not balanced in that sense, but they're able to handle a lot of different projects at the same time. Let's pull two more cards to see if we can clarify. So this could be some news coming to this individual surrounding things built up over a long time and a stable foundation. Remember I said the energy is traveling back this way. We can see that somebody has rushed out, or they got a message and they left, but the Knight of Swords represents neighborhoods and communities. So it really reads as though there's going to be some type of change in what somebody considers to be their home, maybe their tribe and groups of people, community, a change in their foundational structure. For some of you, this may not have come in yet, the Hangman, but it will be coming. For some of you, it may come. And, you know, look, with the Tower card just speaks to unexpected situations. It's not always a negative thing, but, I mean, we can't rule out the fact that maybe this could be, you know, someone deciding to leave a relationship, or someone coming back and saying, you know what, I don't want to be with you anymore. But if that's the case, you already know that those foundations are not stable, okay? And then for others of you, it could be something coming in suddenly where your foundations weren't stable, so they're being torn down because you're about to get that stability that you need, in whatever manner that means, or that you've been desiring. Remember, we're talking about the wands here, and basically that's just a big old wand that he's hanging on. It looks like a cross, but it's a big old wand. Wow. Definitely. Look at those pentacles. Look at that. Now, if I add in that 10 and that 7, so this is really a huge, major change for someone coming in. Huge. Perhaps in a manner in which you did not even expect it to. And that's that's a good thing about the Mercury retrograde, because you got some old projects on the back burner. Now's the time to pull those things out, dust them off, and give it a fresh look. Mercury retrograde, anytime you have any planet in retrograde, you take the first 2 letters of retro, you get the revise, rework, review, reassess, even remove, retire, anything that you could put the prefix re in front of is what you want to be doing through a Mercury retrograde. And it's going to be lasting until January 28th. This is, not only does it represent Uranus, but it represents Mars. And Mars, again, is about fire and aggression. You know, I just, when I picked this card up, picked the deck up, I just had this flash. For some of you, I feel that there's going to be a new person coming in. Um, this relationship is going to be highly charged, very fiery, very passionate. I also think very sexual, because that's a phallic symbol. And look, there is lightning bolts coming. It is knocking a crown off. You're gonna be like brainless. Okay, cool. So anyway, we're all adults here. It's gonna rock your world. Let's put it that way. Right. Oh my God, that could literally be you guys falling out of bed. I don't know. Um, how funny. These cards are so funny sometimes. Maybe some of you all have already met this person, um, but you haven't really given it any thought, or maybe you met briefly. That's Uranus energy too. It's a sudden. He's known as the Great Awakener. Now, I want to caution you that Uranus transits can bring people into your life quite suddenly out of the blue. This will have an electric quality to it, but also um, you have to be cautious, because sometimes those don't last. They're only meant to, like that. And this could be why we have the Hanged Man and the Knight of Swords here. Um, it, it may cause you to reassess and review what it is that you need to have that security. That's what that means. You see these two cards together. This is about security. That's all about security. This is kind of indicative of someone not wanting to, or not either running away from that type of security. You see, they're leaving that type of security. But if I read it this way, this is something. This is someone defending their idea of what that security is. See, he's faced against something coming in from the past. Okay, and we do have this king here looking towards the past. What's interesting is this queen is focused on whatever it is she's focused on. This king is looking towards the past. This knight is either rushing back to the past, or he's defending this happy home and this security here from something from the past. He's facing it head on, whatever it is. Now, the Three of Pentacles is somebody. This is about getting together with another person to build something. We do have Mars in Capricorn right now. And this is Capricorn is all about stability. He's about climbing his way to the top. And he's about, with the coins, about actually physically doing that work. I don't mean like getting, some of you may be building a home. You're getting out and doing it with your own hands. And you've gone to somebody, you're talking to the insurance agent, or you're talking to the architect, or you're talking to the builder. But this is a real drive behind it. This says that there's going to be more work that needs to be done. Now, if this is about joining forces with someone, about a relationship, another relationship coming, or taking a relationship to the next level, with the threes, do know that this is a start, that there will be ups and downs, but that is about maintaining your focus and trying to remain balanced. It's going to require some forgiveness, and it's going to definitely require some type of talks relating to things that have happened in the past, perhaps, but not allowing those things to You know, and it could be that maybe you just can't get past those things. I don't know. But here is the Hangman to say to view that in a different situation. So let's take a look at the Strength card. Shall we? Disgrazia. Leggerezza. Excuse me. Yardro. Remember I said this could be somebody who is entrenched in the way that they think and they're not wanting to change. They have been set. The Disgrazia, that's another Tower card. Okay, the house is on fire. So something has come in and someone has doggedly or steadfastly bit stubborn. Disgrazia. Now, the Lecheresa does speak to sex, but I'm not picking that up. This is really about someone's sensitivity changing. Maybe they were irritable. That maybe they are irritable because they've been stuck. Okay. The Yardro says, well, you know, something being stolen. And remember I said it could be that somebody you allowed somebody new into your circumstance, and maybe everybody was telling you, hey, you know, don't you know, be careful with that person, or you know, or you yourself realize that there's a lot of things there, maybe something else excuse me, that doesn't quite fit in, but nevertheless you have just stayed anyway. You're going to risk it. And this is the other theft of goods or services. But I always say people can steal more than your watch and your TVs and your money from you. You know, and those are things that you can't get insured with the insurance agency. So, what do I want to look at next? Let me look at this Knight of Swords and see what that's trying to tell us. Mercante. Denari. Desperate jealousy. Isn't that something? On the Knight of Swords. Well, remember I said that somebody's trying to weigh up the value of something and that these cards are all about security? Well, we have somebody, either news coming in, somebody's rushing out of that situation, or there's someone trying to defend what these things mean. Well, here we have the Mercante, the businessman. This is a guy who makes contract and negotiations. We see him poised. He's thinking about some kind of finances, some kind of security himself. This could be a business deal. But then I have the desperate jealousy. Now, this card is about excessive attachment. Remember when I said this could be somebody who's just have been having a stranglehold on their money and their emotions, like maybe they're afraid that they don't have enough, or it's what they have is not good enough, and that affects their emotional quotient. Or maybe they are so afraid of falling in love because they're afraid that somebody's going to come in and steal, literally steal from them, or take away everything that they've worked for. So that could go either way. As you can see, we have the guy shooting himself in the head. So I don't know if this is an indication, and it could be both things at the same time, that this situation, both situations have occurred. North and South Node, it's like you're being presented with the same thing over again. That's why the Hangman is asking you to come and look at things from a different perspective. Do I or don't I? Now, if I take these 3 cards and put it on, this could even be somebody who's afraid of actually trying to do the work of whatever this thing is. Or I'd rather shoot myself in the head than go through that. Um, that's a strange combination of cards. I want to look at what the possibility of, it's just odd. Um, let me take a look at, it's an odd combination of cards. Um, you know, Aries is the sign of independence of the self, represents the first house, how what you project out, how other people view you, um, how you present yourself, you package yourself to the world. Um, and then Venus rules the second house of self-worth and self-esteem. So this could really be somebody who's very, very tied up in their possessions that they have. They are very, very self-identified with the things, the home that they have, the money that they have in the bank, the friends that they surround themselves with. So they project this image of whatever, success. But here we have somebody on the cross all by themselves. Even when they're in groups of people, they feel alone. Let's take a look at what this, that's odd. And if I look at these 3 cards, it's kind of like a contradiction in terms. If you've invested all of this time and this energy and this emotion, there is something to celebrate here, that everybody can, friends and family, uh, can, but yet I have the Yardro. Well, I mean, it's like the Wheel of Fortune. The minute you're at the top, you own your way down. And the minute you hit rock bottom, guess what? You're on your way back up. Those 2 directions exist simultaneously. So I guess it would really depend on how you view the situation. Um, why? Because nothing stays the same. Nothing can. And if this is, it's kind of a mixed bag. But what stands out to me the most is the number of pentacles surrounding this. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pentacles. Because if this is not a person, this is an energy of some type of financial stability, or at least balance in the situation. You see, she's sitting on a throne, and that is indicative of some type of elevated status or higher position. Here we have, look, someone standing on a bench. That again indicates a higher elevated position. Here we have someone sitting on a bench. This is not necessarily about rest. Benches can represent rest, but as you can see, this person is really not resting. They're working. They're literally making money. Um, I'm going to pull Sabila's on that. Let me take a look at what this, this is a very strange reading to me. I mean, it's heavily weighted towards the Pentacles. Even with the 3 clarifier cards, they were all Pentacles. You know, this could also be indicative of somebody like this coming in. Remember the energies. Remember I said it's like something's being weighed up. What do I do with that? You see, that pentacle at his feet is that pentacle that she's holding, and that pentacle that's being worked on. This is somebody tossing one thing aside. You see, that's the same. Look, those are the 7s. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's say 7. He's working on that. There's the 8th pentacle on the ground. Well, here we have 7 pentacles. We have something's picked up, but then it's discarded again, and somebody goes back to work on that 7th pentacle. So that's and in the back of this 8 of Pentacles, there's a town, there's a village, there's a house there. Remember, this is the card about neighborhoods and communities. Look, there's a home there, a place of security. That is what this represents. This is about communities and neighborhoods. Quite interesting. But here we have somebody's outside of the city walls there, not feeling included. I want to look at this 10 of Pentacles here. It's just the oddest thing. Oh, how long is this? Okay, I just got a few more minutes, and then I'm going to pull a angel answer card here. Well, well now. Holy smokes. Lamante, female lover, whether this is same-sex or heterosexual, on top of this thing's built up. The card of marriage, of bonds and of contracts. The highly spiritual nature of a couple. The letter. Now, the letter speaks to documents. It speaks to wills, insurances. It can speak to actual letters, letters coming in the mail. It could be emails. It could also be text messages, electronic forms of communication. Well, I don't know what to tell you guys about that, because I'm looking at these 2 negative cards here, the Yarzro and the desperate jealousy. This could be someone's thoughts being stolen from them, someone having a complete change of mind. Well, people, This definitely looks like changes in someone's relationship status. Now, I'm just a tarot card reader, and this is just a general reading. So I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, some of you finna get engaged to get married. That may be true. And I'm not fixing to sit here and say, yeah, for certain, some of you getting ready to get the shaft, even though that may be true. This is general. There are thousands of you who subscribe to my channel. And I'm sure more than that who watch. So I can't say that this is going to be one way or the other, because that depends upon your personal situation, the factors you got going around you. That Tower card, that's Uranus, baby. So I think perhaps maybe some of you may be feeling this shift or this change. In other words, you know, I'm sick of being by myself. I need to get up and go do something and find somebody that's going to compliment me. Others of you, it could be, I'm so sick and tired of this damn relationship that I'm in. It is time for me to chuck this shit and keep it moving. It could be either way. But look at what the card says. These cards are so funny sometimes. Holy smokes. Some of you will be what? Compromising. See the scales? There's the Libra energy, the 7th house, the descendant. Okay? There are the scales, people, and the card says compromise. So indeed, some of you, in either situation, if you're going to be leaving and you have things built up with someone, you're going to have to compromise, okay, as you walk away from this. But for those of you who it looks as though there is indeed some type of relationship coming, unbeknownst to you, quite suddenly, out of the blue, an opportunity for this security, and definitely this is a marriage. This could even be an invitation to a marriage for some of you, but it doesn't read like that. It reads like someone sending, and maybe this is all about they're afraid to do so. I don't know. You know, what the hell do I know? I just read cards. Either way, if this is the blending of you taking that relationship to the next level, and maybe that's why this card has come out, you're going to have to hammer out that agreement. You're going to have to compromise. And I say this particularly because if this person that comes in, or if it's a person that you're dealing with who has really been someone who is truly identified with their possessions, okay, then you're going to have to make it, the agreement be fair and be rational and be compromised. That's not romantic. It's not romantic, but that's the way it is. Okay, it's neither good nor bad. It's just the way it is. Depending on how old you are in your life and the things that you have accumulated or that you accrued, really Venus is about the money that you earn, that you make for yourself. It is about your possessions, your things, but it's also about your self-worth and your self-esteem and your value system. That's what Venus rules. It rules your value system. So if this is about, you know, do I walk away and just leave all my shit behind? Do you have enough self-esteem? Do you value yourself enough? Because sometimes this is about, Venus is about what you will sell your soul for, or what you won't sell your soul for. You see, everybody has a price. Everybody has a price. So the question becomes, what is your price? Who and what is most valuable to you? Compromise, people. All right. There you have it. I've got to get back to work. Wow. With the Akashic Records. I hope this message has helped some of you out there. Again, you know, this is a general reading. For some of you, it may be spot on. For others of you, no. That requires a personal reading. So until next time, namaste.